Good morning, everybody. I don't know if everybody's there. Thousands and thousands of people could be watching, and I don't know. Because this is being recorded. It's being recorded on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube by chance, if you could subscribe to my channel and then click that little ding-dong button, a little ding-dong, ding-dong, and give a thumbs up to the video if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs up anyways because it helps my algorithms. Oh, my algorithms are acting up. Algorithms. Isn't that weird? Technology today, all these weird words and things that people use. They use old terminology like filming a video. Film has been gone for years. I don't know if anybody ever films or tapes. Nobody tapes anymore, but they do record. So the title today is some of the wacky business ideas I've had over the years because I was just thinking about all that. Well, looks like I got one viewer here, my little eyeballs showing up. But I had some other ideas. Like there was somebody on today that was on good old Facebook, and they're talking about doing a podcast, and they wanted to do it as a tour. That's an interesting idea. And I thought, well, why not go talk to Tesla and see if Tesla could sponsor it? And then you could do the tour as you drove across the country in a free vehicle or something like that, you know? So that's not a real wacky one, but that's what popped in this morning. And my brain tends to be occupied constantly with these different ideas. I mean, my wife, Monica, she, I don't know what goes on inside your head because I've always got these ideas. I wake up in the morning with ideas in my head, and I believe it started because of my magical entertainment. For those that don't know, I started doing magic when I was a little kid. I got an interest in it when I was like 4 or 5 years old, just a little toddler, and did it as a hobby into grade school, and then through into high school. I started doing it for pay, and it was my job through high school. And then I did get a real job. I got laid off, and then I went back into magic full-time performing. So my brain has been developing sort of with a behind-the-scenes look at reality or perceived reality. So I think that maybe that's how my brain functions. Let me see who's here. It's my friend Bo Young, fellow Gemini and gracious giver. There he is. I hope you're well, my friend. So I was just sharing with some of the people here some of my wacky ideas. And Bo and I do a show on Thursday mornings, for those that don't know, on gratitude. And so another idea I had was back when I was doing the magic gigs, I came up with this idea to do an event. And it wasn't 100% my idea. I actually took it over from someone else that did it as an event. But I turned it around and turned it into a lead generator for my magic business. I created this trade show. Back then it was called the Great Minnesota Event Show. It was in Minneapolis here at the International Market Square over by the farmer's market off of 394 and Lindale, sort of around that area. And, or Glenwood, I think. Glenwood and Lindale would be more specific. But did that event there from 1991-ish to 1998. And that event was my lead generator for me to find meeting planners that wanted to do, hire magicians for an event. Hire me for an event. So I had a couple thousand event planners from Target, Medtronic, Cargill, 3M, Honeywell, General Mills, Pillsbury, multiple other corporations, businesses that would come to these events to source all the things that they need for planning their events, like portable restrooms and fencing and staging and bleachers and lighting and AV and musicians and DJs and casinos and catering and venues, and the list goes on. And did that from 1990 to 1998. I had one magician there. Primarily, it was me. I had a couple in once in a while that were friends, and I would allow them to buy a booth. But other than that, I kind of ignored all the magicians. And I sort of cornered the market for the event industry with that. So that's one of the ideas I had. The idea was I'm making money doing the show and building a great list of event planners or event professionals for booking my magic gigs. So it sort of worked better that way. And then what happened in my life is things started to collapse because I took on another role with the expo. I started being more of an event management company, and I brought on a couple of partners, and that didn't work at all. I won't go into all the details, but I don't like that idea anymore. And it all fell apart. It was all in my name. I couldn't fulfill the bills, and I had credit card debt, and I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So one of my ideas was to see if I could get my credit card provider, Visa, to sponsor me by putting their logo on the back of a straitjacket, and I was going to hang upside down like Houdini used to do from the rooftop of International Market Square. I never did this, by the way, but it was an idea to be able to pay off my debt. So I think I had like maybe $10,000 worth of debt with Visa. Now that doesn't seem like much, but back then it seemed like a lot, and I couldn't get out of it. So what I wanted to do is charge them $10,000 to put their logo on my back of a straitjacket and hang upside down like a bat and escape and do it as a publicity stunt so they'd get all the recognition and I'd get my debt wiped clear. I never did that idea, but I probably should have. I thought it was a good idea to just I've never done a straitjacket escape, but I don't think it's that hard. I know some people that do it, and if they can do it, I can do it. So that was one of my ideas to get out of my other fiasco. And then I forgot, I think I told you this morning I had this idea, that guy doing a tour across Tesla. Another idea that I had, that was, I used to, out of high school, I did some design drafting, electromechanical, doing printed circuit boards. It was for a company called Control Data. If you remember that company, Control Data. They had a printed circuit board that would go in the computer and go into the connector like this. And then the computer would work. And if it went in upside down, poof, the computer didn't work. It blew up. So what I did was where the computer, this connector was connected, there were two screws that held it in and connected to the printed circuit board. What I did is I made one of those screws longer than the other one so that when it went in wrong, it would hit, because it was sticking out a little bit. It would hit and it couldn't go in unless you turned it around, and then you could slide it into the connector. And all it took was a part number change from a 003 to a 004, and it was a longer screw, and it prevented the thing from blowing up. That's kind of how my brain works. So another business idea I've got, and I'm not going to do this too long. I'm going to go in for 8 minutes and 10 seconds. But another idea that I had that we actually implemented years ago, me and my friend Trisha, she's a musician, and she and I did this thing called Peace in the Cities. Reason being, some young kid got shot by a drive-by shooting by accident. He was in the way, and he died. And we felt bad for the mother, and we did a fundraiser for her. It was magic, music, and mime. It was me doing magic, Trisha doing music, and our friend Michael Rudolph, that has now moved on to be a mime in the sky. He did a mime act, if you remember Michael Rudolph here locally. So we did this thing, magic, music, and mime, Peace in the Cities. And we brought down people from all over the place that had books on peace, and peace troubadours and people that were into peace, and did all this thing as a fundraiser. And one of the things I had in there was what I called the Peace Police. This is something I developed in a program years ago. It was Landmark Forum, if you remember that. I went through all that stuff. So I developed this program called Peace in the Cities, and the concept essentially is the police were out patrolling looking for people doing good things. And then they would write them a citation and give them a citation for being good and kind and peaceful. And that citation was actually a reward. It was a gift certificate to go and exchange to get a prize. And the prizes were everything for like gift cards to Target or the Starbucks and stuff like that, or things for kids. I don't remember who we had hooked up with that. It might have been one of the local toy stores or something like that. But that was another idea we had. It was the idea was to reward people for doing things good as opposed to punishing them for doing things bad. That was one. And then the other one was my peace art concept. That still, I think, is a good idea. It's a contest. And I tried doing this on an artist's platform. And it didn't work at all because the people in there obviously weren't into peace, because when I suggested peace, they decided I was a scam artist. So I just kind of thought, well, that ain't going to go on that platform. Heck with that. So anyways, folks, almost 11 minutes. I don't want to take up too much time on a Friday. You probably got things to do. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to what I have to say. Let me give myself a little bit of props here. If you want to know more about me or you want to get on the Magic Brad Show, I've got this, themagicbradshow.com. That's to connect with Magic Brad Show. If you want to know more about me and what I'm doing, magicbrad.com. And, here's, and this is something I'm building up. I'm in the process of building this up. I used to have it going when the event industry was going, and then the event industry kind of fizzled out, and trying to get it going again. Anyways, peace, love, and happiness. This is Magic Brad signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Appreciate you taking the time to watch, look, and listen.